Hey friends, it's Sarah from She's Crafty and She Knows It, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute little shaker pouch. It has the same look as the last little shaker pouch I made, but this one is without a zipper, which therefore makes it much easier to make. So I figured for some of you that thought the zipper was a little bit complicated, this would be easier to follow, and it's the same kind of look. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'll be using 2 of the acetate sheets that are 12 by 12. This is the exact same kind of acetate sheets that I used for the shaker zipper pouch. So same thing, if you want to buy those, I will link all the supplies I'm using in the description below this video. But I'm going to go ahead and cut these sheets down. So these are 12 by 12. I'm going to go ahead and make them 9 by 12. I'm going to cut them at the same time. You can cut 2 at the same time. Just make sure you keep them really even on the side while you're cutting and trimming, so that way they don't kind of get whopper jawed. So I'm just going to cut 3 inches off the width real quick. Okay, so here's my little scrap I'm going to move to the side, and here is my 9 by 12 little pieces. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and sew around 3 of the edges. So we're going to sew a whole side across the bottom and up the other side, leaving the top completely open. I'm not going to be using a contrasting color this time. I'm just going to use regular white stitching. So I've gone ahead and already threaded my machine, and it's ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew around the 3 edges. And so just go ahead and line them up. You don't need clips or anything. You should just be able to hold it pretty steady. If you want to use clips, you're more than welcome to, but I do find just kind of holding them, honestly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started sewing on the 3 sides, and I'm going to go ahead and do a tiny bit less than a 1/4 allowance. But you can pick whatever kind of size you want for the seam allowance. Okay, so when you get started, you can go ahead and stitch a little bit and then do a little bit of a back stitch as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You might have to kind of push and hold the acetate down to kind of push it through. Sometimes it will kind of stop feeding it through because it's so slippery. So just be aware of that. Once it gets through a decent bit, you might want to kind of stop and almost like pull it through the back. Okay, now as we get close to the corner, kind of slow down, and when you get closer, I kind of just do the hand crank, get the needle down, and then you can turn it. I might need to do one more stitch. Well, that's real close. Let's see. Keep the needle in and then pivot it with the foot up, and then you can kind of keep on going straight across. Use the hand crank again with the needle down, pick up the foot and pivot it. I keep on doing one stitch short. Okay, now pick up the foot, pivot it. We're gonna go up this last side. Okay, as you get close to the top, you can go forward and then kind of back stitch up to the edge. It has to be stitched really well because we'll be putting the little sequin confetti stuff in here. So now it is sewn on all 3 sides. Hopefully you can see that. All 3 sides. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fold up the bottom side and make the crease where we want it. And so I actually know already that I want it to be about, I'm going to put this back a little bit more, 4.5 inches, give or take. It does not need to be exact. Oh, that's 3.5. So the idea is you want it to be a certain size and then fold over the top. So I want this bottom section to be about 4.5. So kind of crease it by hand. And then once you kind of get it where you want it, you can use a bone folder to really crease the acetate perfectly. Like so. Okay, so now we have our bottom section. We're going to go ahead and open it back up, and we're going to drop some of our little sequin confetti stuff in there. And so I have a really cute little bag. It has tons of different little designs in there. Hopefully you can see that. I'll try to link this one. I think it might be from Temu, or maybe I got it on Amazon, but I'll try my best to link it. It reminds me of those little I Spy books. My girls used to love those. We have to find certain things in the book. And so I thought it was kind of fun, different kind of sequins. So you're going to go ahead and open up that top. Kind of try to get it in there. And we're going to dump a good bit down in there. Let's see how that will do. Gonna kind of open the bottom where it's creased and get all of it down in there. And let's see if that's enough, if we want more. So when it's folded up, it would look like this. So I might add a tiny bit more. It's really cute though. Okay. Get it all down there. If not every piece goes down, it's okay, because we'll need some in the next section anyways. You just don't want it too close to that crease, because we're going to sew right along that crease. Okay, just like that. Let me pull the sewing machine back over. This is one of those things where I probably need multiple cameras set up to do it properly. So, okay, here we got the sewing machine. We're going to keep going, just a straight stitch. And we're going to do it right along this crease that I just made with the bone folder. And so you want to go ahead and you can do a little bit and then do the backup, so that way it's really good at the edges. And just kind of follow that crease along. See if I can get it lined up. Okay, and then when you get to the end, go ahead and stitch it and then do a nice backup stitch. You really want it sealed so that way the sequins stay where they're supposed to go. Okay. So now you can kind of see we have our nice little stitching. We're going to fold it up and we're going to fold our top right there to give us the top seam. So that's folded there. Get the top fold right where it should be, fold it over, and you're going to use the bone folder again. And it might be easier if you kind of unfold that bottom to really get it good. Okay, so now we're going to put some little sequins in our middle section right here, and then we're going to sew it up. So get sequins back, tump some in. Kind of got to tump it in the top, and then it'll go at the bottom when you open it. So you can see this is like the little back of the pouch. So I'm probably going to add a little bit more. Sorry, y'all. This is probably not the best camera angle. I apologize. Okay. Trying to see about how much I have. I have way more in the bottom than I do in the middle. Okay. I think that's pretty good though. That way we still have plenty for the top part. So I'm going to go ahead and sew the middle across. I lied. I'm going to add a tiny bit more. This stuff is so addicting. Okay. Okay, all the little pieces that drop down. Okay, so now I have my bottom section is full and it's stuck in there because it's sewn all the way around. Middle section just needs a seam right there along the crease. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this back over. Somehow a piece of little sunshine sequin got up there. Okay, pull this back. And now I'm going to stitch right along this crease right here. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit and then do a back stitch again. You might have to help, like, kind of guide it along. It is so slippery. Honestly, my sewing machine does amazingly well with it, but every now and then it'll kind of slip around. Okay, we're coming up to the edge, so go ahead and stitch it. Do a little back stitch. Okay, So now we just have our top section. So the bottom two, all the little sequins are stuck inside of there. It folds up like that. Cute little pouch. Okay, so now all we gotta do is our little top section. I'm gonna go ahead and just so that it's easier to see what's going on, I'm gonna trim all my little tiny threads off. Okay, so all we have to do now is put a little bit of sequins. I'm not gonna stuff it too full because it needs to be able to really kind of fold over at the top. So get a tiny bit more. Okay, so if it's like this, it's hard to tell without really testing it. I don't want to spill it, so okay, so now we're going to sew up our last little side. This is the very top. So I'm going to do the same seam allowance I've been doing this whole time. I'm going to start and then I'm going to do a backup stitch so that it's really nice and sealed. Y'all, that was perfect timing. That was like right at the end of my bobbin. It was not going to make it any further. Okay, so now we have our little trifold kind of pouch, just like that. Super cute. All I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little trim. So I'm going to go ahead and unfold this so that it's easier to work with. I actually have this little stick-on trim from Natural Life. I'm not sure if they still have it in stock, but if they do, I'll try to link it too. But I'm just going to put it right along the up here to kind of cover that little seam, and I think I'm going to try to maybe put a little bit of Velcro back behind it if I can kind of hide it. So let's see if I can get this to there. This stuff is actually already sticky, which makes it super easy to use. You just peel it off and then go ahead and lay it over the edge. I'm going to put it where the bottom kind of really lines up with the edge of the acetate sheets. That works out. My bottom stitching, running out of the bobbin, something got kind of caught up in there, so the stitching on that very last piece had a couple of kind of weird spots, so that I was going to use a trim piece anyways, but that helped cover it up. Sometimes that happens when the threads get caught or something. Okay, so the last thing we need to do now that we have everything kind of done is we have to stitch right along here to kind of close this part up so it's actually a pouch. That will be our last stitching. I'm going to have to go ahead and do a new bobbin to get that going, but this part is all done. And the last thing is closing this part up, and then I think, like I said, I'm going to put a couple of little Velcro pieces. So let me go ahead and reload the bobbin and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my bobbin all changed. Now you have to try to get the sequins as far away from the edge as you can. Some of them are proving to be a little bit more stubborn than others. So that's about the best that I can get them away. And we're just going to sew right along here, attaching this fold to the other. And I'm going to keep about the same allowance as before. Okay, so now that side is completely sewn together, which is great. We just gotta now get everything down to the other end so that we can sew this side together. So you kind of have to shake it. Honestly, this might be the hardest part of the whole thing, is getting the sequins down to the other side. So shake, 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 shake. If you're using more like that tissue paper kind of confetti, that stuff you could probably just sew right over if you needed to, if it was stuck. Some of these are kind of, these little This one has like this little diamondy, I don't know if you can see it. That guy is gonna be hard to go over. The flat ones are okay, but trying to wiggle him down. Trying to see how far to the side I can get my needle. So if you have something like this where the things are stuck, you can kind of move your needle side to side to get it more where you need it. Now we have it sewn, so it is now officially a pouch. I'm just going to cut the little extra threads off. Okay, so that is it. That is kind of the final little look. Now I'm going to kind of mess around and see about adding just some little Velcro to see if the Velcro will kind of actually hold it down. So let's see. I want to take one of these little pieces and try to hide it behind the trim piece. So I think I'm going to cut a long kind of strip like this. Where'd the other one go? Okay, I want to see if, I think that will hide fairly well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of the other side of the Velcro and cut them in the middle as well. So the best way to do this is to go ahead and attach the Velcros together. That way you know you can get it lined up just the way you want. Attach them together. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and peel off one side and put it right, do like right there. Okay, let's kind of just measure it to see about how far. We came in about almost 2 inches. So I'm just, it's mostly eyeballed with a little bit of ruler help. It's not perfect. Okay, so you kind of do like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and peel off the sticky off the back of the Velcro. If I can get it off. That way when I Velcro it shut, it will actually adhere the Velcro to the inside part. Okay. It's hard with all the sequins at that one end. Okay, so now you really want to push the Velcro down because it's kind of just sticking with this. It comes with adhesive on it. So kind of stick the Velcro down. See if you can open it really carefully. Don't want to pull it off. And I'm going to kind of push. The stuff is supposed to be really strong, so it should hold just fine. But kind of push it into place. Now, of course, you don't have to use trim, and you don't have to even do Velcro if you don't want to. And like I said before, I think I mentioned this, you can use even like the sheet protectors, like those sheet protectors for binders that are a little bit softer material. I just had this on hand. It's really sturdy. The other stuff's a little bit more flimsy and cloudy. It's not quite as clear as this. I like how clear this is so that you can really see the stuff inside. Super cute and functional. I stuff mine really full, which gives it kind of a little bit less room inside to actually put things. But you definitely could put notes and a couple pins or something like that, post-it notes or whatever. I just like how it looks so stuffed full. It's super duper cute. I know some people like to use these for Happy Mail and send it to customers with cute little things inside. So you can do that, or if you have a pen pal, make a little mini one and put a note inside of it. But that is really it. My girls just absolutely love these little pouches like this. They feel like it's their own little kind of confetti sequin purse, and they're obsessed with them. So I hope you like them as much as we do. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe for more videos. Bye!
She's crafty and she knows it. She's crafty and she knows it. She's crafty and she knows She's crafty and she knows.